What's up, YouTube? Lee here for Card Games United. Yet again, bringing you a Shadowverse video. Still working on trying to get the audio down, but it's looking like it may just have to be my voice. I'm hoping I can figure out a way to get at least the background music in these videos. I really would like to get the voice tabs too, just because they're so good. And it's kind of a shame when I can't get stuff like that in, because there's a lot of really good voice lines and things in this game, and a lot of good effects and stuff, which I may have to turn off if I'm gonna get full recordings including the sound, and it's kind of a shame to have to pick between one or the other. I guess if anyone's watching and feels like commenting to let me know which they prefer, that'd be great. So, this is probably the last single game video I do for this, because I'd like to get this to at least the point where I put up deck profile into a couple games, like a couple other YouTubers that I could probably mention do. So this is going to be one of my last, either my last or one of my last experimental ones before I get the whole process down. So without further ado, Bloodcraft. This is mid-range blood. It's another one of those decks that it's not particularly good, but it's very interesting and unique, so I thought I'd show it off. It did a lot better at the start of the meta when there seemed to be more Dragoncraft and stuff running around. When people started to realize, no, Haven is just that good. It has some issues dealing with Haven. I've tried. I don't know what else I can do. So you're going to see me drop the Goblin. I'm not 100% sure about the include of the Goblin, but there are some decks like Midrange Sword and Forest and stuff that can just snowball if you don't have anything to compete with them on board early. So the Goblin is sort of just the best compromise I could work. It's not going to end up being very useful in this game, particularly because he's playing the Aged Falcon or whatever it's called. I do get some face damage, but as you'll see by the end, face damage really doesn't matter that much in this deck. Unfortunately, the Aged Falconer is able to free trade with my my demon. The Goblin does take out the Falcon, which is good for me. I just go ahead and play the Sapphire, get some draw. I have most of the pieces I need in my hand already. It's just a matter of digging for more survival tools. I do get a little bummed here because he's able to just, again, get the free pop with the Insect Lord. I do have a response in the form of Vera, which Forest tends to have some issues taking it off the board, just because they like so much just dropping all their tiny pieces and sort of contending with you that way. Also, they like getting better trades by playing Brambles, and Vera ignores both of those, which is good. He has the Metiera, which is just a very good card right now. And it just pops off my Vera, which I'm slightly irritated at, but it's not a huge deal. Anyway, like I said, I want to increase my survivability, so I play the Sabrar to heal me a little bit. And it gets the trade with the Metiera. Not much to say about that. Like I said, a lot of the mid-game tools in this deck are just sort of to survive until late game. I do have a few like early plays and a little bit of Storm and stuff just so I can really push home early if that's what looks like is going to win the game. So he plays the Elfsmith and uses it to attack the Sibur. The Bane still kills it because it only gives it immunity to damage and not effects. I go for the Sanity Maiden. Again, just a little survivability. I'm going to start getting my combos into play next turn, so the idea of putting up a ward and healing myself for a little bit is very appealing right there. He goes into the Fairy Driver, which I guess means this is some sort of aggro forest, and he just didn't have a very good front end in his hand, at least. I'm not sure though. He's playing the Met here. Maybe I'm just overthinking things a little bit. It could just be, you know, aggro forest with a not incredible draw. So here comes the Bandersnatch, and you're probably guessing, but the main crux of this deck is Bandersnatch into spawn so that I just have 2 spawns on board. My opponent doesn't realize that and kind of misplays here by comboing the Greenland into the Airbound. So he does get the Bandersnatch off board for free, and he can attempt to snowball next turn with the Greenland in 2 plays to do 4 damage to face. But I'm just going to play double spawn here, and so unless he has like a huge ward or something like that, he's dead. And even if he had something like that, I had the Wolf and Bandersnatch as well as Chains in hand to deal with whatever he wanted to play. Really, his best option there was to leave the Axeman on board and just try and smack me in the face as hard as he could next turn. But he didn't know the deck because it's kind of unique. So that's sort of a fun thing that can happen when you play offbeat decks like this. Your opponent can just not know how to counterplay you, and you get 2 spawns on board. So that was the game. Hope you enjoyed. Hope I was able to sort something out. Remember to dislike, leave a mean comment, and tell your friends not to subscribe. Bye!